Gonna make a nice simple banana bread batter type of recipe where it's gonna be, you can use the batter as a banana bread. You can put it in a loaf pan and make it a normal banana type bread, or do what I like to do in the morning now is use a little cupcake or muffin pan and make little muffins out of it. So this is a very good recipe that I like to make because I love banana bread, but traditional banana breads have a lot of sugar and a lot of butter fat, a lot of things that are very delicious, but a lot of calories, and I can't do that. So I made up this alternative, which involves using a sweetener like stevia or Splenda, whatever, and I use Greek yogurt instead of butter. So this is a nice recipe. I highly recommend it. It's very delicious, and it's a very nice treat, especially with coffee. This is the dry container that I use. You can use a dry container, or you can use a wet container. I like to use the wet container for this recipe because the ingredients are more of a wet batter type of mixture rather than a dry dough like you would with a whole wheat bread or anything like that. So I'm going to use this 48 ounce container. This will probably work in a 64 ounce, but I haven't tried doing that yet. So this is all real time, no cuts or anything like that. The only time I'll cut is to show the end product. So I'm going to use my perfect blend setup here. I use this a lot because it helps me count the calories, and I don't have to remember anything. I just follow the steps and everything just happens. And this banana bread recipe is one that I programmed myself. It's very easy to do in the app, and we're gonna just get started here. And one last tip is this batter comes out, the riper your fruit is, your bananas are, the better the bread comes out. But you can use it in any stage as long as however you like the banana flavor. Just go with that. But I like to have it as ripe as possible, and I do have very ripe bananas. Okay, so these are my recipes here. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It's already synced up, so we're gonna go ahead and hit. Let's go. I'm just gonna go over real quick what the nutrition facts are here. So this makes about a loaf of bread, which will be, each serving is about 100 grams, I think, and it makes about 10 slices. If you slice it up in 10 different slices, you'll get 167 calories, 9 grams protein, 30 grams carbs, and look at the fat. It's very, very little fat per slice. So it's you can eat pretty much as of this bread as you want, and not be overloaded with calories. So these are the ingredients, and I use a protein powder. I use a vanilla flavor one, but if you want to substitute, go ahead and substitute. There's no real rules here. This is just you can change this up as much as you want. So let's go with it. I'll hit the blend here. Okay, scale. Boom. Okay. Now, this step here, this whole thing here is made for using it as a bread, and if you want to bake it right away. I'm not going to bake it right away. I'm just going to make the batter and put it in the refrigerator for later use. Especially because every morning I bake up the muffins fresh. So it's this is the prep stage, which I don't really have to pay attention to. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my container, put it on there. Okay. Okay, first step is 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. And get my spatula, my Vitamix spatula. We're going to add just about 1/4. Use any type of, this is a non-fat Greek yogurt, non-fat plain Greek yogurt. You can use vanilla flavor, you can use whatever you want. I use the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. No rules here, I just show what I make, and it's low calorie but still extremely delicious. Next step, say stevia, 28 grams. I go by weight because volume measurements can be kind of iffy depending on what ingredient you use. This uses a lot of the stevia, and this stuff isn't exactly inexpensive, so I buy as much of it as I can on sale or wholesale. But you can use stevia, Splenda, whatever sweetener. Okay, here's 40 grams of the whey protein. This is a Market Pantry from Target, but you can use any whey protein that you want, or soy protein, whatever. There's no rules here. It's whatever you like, as long as it satisfies the perfect blend here. So for here, it's going to be 40 grams of whey protein. And this is pretty much the end of this jug here. Already making a mess. Very nice. It's a real kitchen. No fancy editing. I didn't get quite the amount of protein that I wanted out of this jug. But you know what? It's okay. It'll still come out real good. So we'll just go to the next step. Okay, about 2 eggs. And another thing about perfect blend, sometimes it'll say 1 or 2 eggs, but when you put 1 egg in there, it'll count it as both. So you kind of have to be real quick with it. But you can fine tune that out with customization. I just don't really care. It's either 1 or 2 eggs. See, there we go. It's just 1 egg. That's all right. You can just go back to the previous step. There we go. There's the 2 eggs. Bam. Now we can just go back to the other step. So I use non-fat milk, and it's about 1/4 cup at this point. Get my milk out here. You can use whatever milk, soy milk, whatever, substitute, no rules. I just use non-fat milk to keep the calories low, as low as possible, because I like to eat a lot. And because I like to eat a lot, I need to cut the calories as much as I can so I don't gain too much weight. And it's fun to create these alternatives, so I don't have to be so, you don't have to have a crazy strict diet or anything like that. And that's all my vanilla extract too. I have to buy a lot of things. I have to restock on a lot of things. But you know what? The protein powder I was using is also vanilla flavored, so I'm just going to move on. If you were curious, it's about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of vanilla extract. It's however much you like, really. So here's the main ingredient, is the bananas. I use 400 grams of bananas. That's about 3.5 bananas. And let me show you these bananas and how ripe they are. These are extremely ripe bananas. So it's all up to what you like, no rules. Like I said, real time. I don't do the jump cuts because I want to show you just how fast and easy it is to make these recipes. Other channels on YouTube, they'll do a lot of jump cuts and fancy editing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, just show me how long it takes really how to do. Very nice. These bananas smell so good. Okay. Boom. See, it's filling up on the meter there. Another thing about the scale is not only can you see it there, but there's a meter on the actual scale that tells you when you're getting close to the amount that you need. Okay, this is the last banana. I have 2 more bananas there, but I think I'll just freeze them for a dessert or something. Not quite the amount of banana I want. So you know what? I am just gonna go ahead and peel 1 more, because like I said, I'm just gonna freeze these other bits anyway. You can put a little bit more, a little bit less. You just have to take that into account when you're baking it. This one's about to melt in my hand. That's how ripe it is. There we go. Okay, this one will be going to the freezer along with the other one. And okay, now it says on this step to blend until smooth for 10 seconds. I could use the timer on it, or I could just go ahead and go by my experience and just go ahead and do that. Alrighty. I have banana on my fingers. How about I clean off the banana? Clean off my machine here. Like I said, real kitchen. That banana tastes good. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm pulsing it here. You can do whatever you want. I like to pulse it. You can use a tamper if you want to use a tamper. At this point, it's really just what you prefer. There we go, done. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the next step here, and then now we're gonna add the whole wheat flour. You can add whatever flour. I use all whole wheat. You can mix and match whatever. No rules, just add some kind of flour. And this is King Arthur flour. I like this one. This one's pretty good, but I've used other kinds of flours and everything comes out pretty damn good. So we're just gonna put the 2.5 cups, which is I forgot how much it is in weight. Okay, there we go. As long as it chimes, I'm good. And some other dry ingredients. I need my baking powder. I use a little extra. It helps it rise some. And a little bit of salt. A little pinch of salt. So I don't over salt it. Again, you don't have to use salt. You can add more, add less. Okay, now we're gonna mix the whole thing together. When I do this on my own and I'm not talking on camera, this takes less than 5 minutes. Okay. Now in this step it says 1 second, but it's just to pulse it at high speed for however long it takes to mix it up. Or you can continuously use it with the tamper. I just do the pulse because it's just one less thing to clean with the tamper. So I'll show you that. That's it. And I just keep doing that until it mixes up. You can see like every time I pulse it, an air bubble comes out. And that's why if I do it continuously, you need a tamper so those air bubbles can come out. Now, if you don't have a pulse button and you have a classic type Vitamix, don't freak out. I don't know why people freak out when they don't have a pulse button. All you have to do is on and off. It works exactly the same. Okay, that's mixed up enough for me. I was just kind of having fun there for a minute. All right, so we are all blended up, and this is going to be the point where we transfer it to a already greased up loaf pan and just go ahead and bake it in the oven. But since I'm saving it, I'm just going to get a couple of these containers here. This is plastic containers. And that's pretty much it. That's the recipe. There's nothing to measure anymore on a scale because I already know what the calories are. You can see them all totaled up on the side here. You probably can't read that, so let me show you. So the whole mixture is 1,642 calories, 19 grams fat, 308 grams carbohydrates, and 82 grams protein. That's pretty significant for a banana bread. So if you cut it up into 10 servings, I do it by weight. It's more accurate. If you do it by weight, then you can get the proper serving size. It's about 164 calories, about 8 grams protein, and then divided by 10. Everything there divided by 10. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Some people make it out to be rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's just, some of it is science, some of it is art, the rest is just have fun. So I just go ahead and pour my mixture in here, and I put it in the refrigerator, and I bake it up at 350 degrees in the middle rack, or yeah, about the middle of the top rack in an oven. If you do muffins, it takes up way less time than doing a loaf of bread. But if I do the whole loaf, it's about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, depending on how well done you like it and how good your oven is. Some ovens are better than others. But in my case, I like to make the muffins because they're so much quicker. You just do it in the morning. And they're nice and fresh. You have it with a nice cup of coffee. It's delicious and nutritious. All those good things. And there's no guilt associated with it. It's not like one muffin is 700 calories or anything like that. One muffin is 165 calories. And I eat three muffins. And it's just very delicious. And I measure it because you see the serving size is 98 grams on the main page. So I fill up the muffins to 50 grams, which is half pretty much. So each muffin is just a little itty bitty thing that's about 80 calories each. So I just go by that math. You don't have to count every single last calorie if you're on a low calorie diet or anything like that. But that's just how I deal with food. I'm just conscious about it. But okay, that is the batter here. Like I said, this is 5 minutes without me trying to do this on video. And the cleanup is so easy. In fact, I'm even going to do it on video. So I'm just going to finish pouring out my mixture here, because I need to get every single last bit of it. And you know what? I'm gonna do it even better. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my blade scraper. I thought this was something that wouldn't be very useful, but it's so useful. Like right now, I get to scrape every single last bit of my batter because I do not waste my batter whatsoever. Like I said, this is real time. This is not edited whatsoever. You can see how quick this whole procedure is. If you get really good at doing this recipe, it takes less than 5 minutes. And you can have a batter that's ready to go right in the oven, or wait till the morning when everybody's just starting to get up and you start baking these things up. Everybody's going to start asking you, what smells so good? And you'll tell them. You got wonderful banana whole wheat muffins or banana bread Serve it up with coffee, and everybody will leave for their start of the day happy. And that's important, especially at these weird times where now we have this whole pandemic thing going on, where home cooking is more important than ever. And if you have a Vitamix, you will see how beneficial a Vitamix really is to your life. Because when you have treats like this, it makes being quarantined out not so painful and depressing. You can just stay home and cook and make things like this and not worry about getting fat, because you can invent little alternatives to traditional recipes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash this. I'm just rinsing the spatula. That's done. Fill up the container with a little bit of water. Putting a drop of soap in here. I use Dawn. You can use whatever you like. Get on there. Turn it on and just let it wash itself. There we go. It's clean. There you go. Rinse it out in the sink and you are ready for either next recipe or the rest of your day. It doesn't get any quicker and easier than that. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. You should really try it. It's very delicious, very nutritious, and it'll put a smile on your face, guaranteed. And like I said, just if you want to make changes to it, make changes to it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. There's no rules. But I'm going to show you the finished product. That's the only jump cut I'm going to do, and that's it. Take care.